Agriculture on the move.
Agricole mouvement.
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 Hello again, listeners, and welcome to the program Agriculture on the Move. My name is Philip Sidney, and today we'll prove to you that agriculture is really on the move. Some people believe that agriculture is dead. Today we are discussing a program that is tailored for the youth of this country in agricultural enterprises. The project, I'm sure you're aware of it, it has been known around St. Lucia. It's called the Youth Agri-Entrepreneurial Project. In short, it's called YEAP. That program was conceptualized about 4 years ago. I must say, under the former regime, the former Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Ezekiel Joseph. But then it was conceptualized, a very good project, but it is now being implemented at this juncture. Without further ado, I wanted to introduce you to two officers who are responsible for the project. Adline Eudovique, who is responsible for the project in the north of the island, and Mr. Terrance Charlemagne, who is responsible for the project in the south of the island. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Charlemagne, tell us, give us just a short, background of the project. I mean, people are aware, but there's some persons who probably don't know and are unaware of what that project entails.
Okay, the project is being funded by the CARICOM Development Fund in conjunction with the government of St. Lucia through the Ministry of Agriculture. And then the project is designed to actually create employment for the young people, reduce the rural-urban drift, also to reduce on our food import bill, and in terms of also food security. Okay, so actually the project is designed to put agriculture on a different footing, and also to reduce or more or less to take care of our aging farmer population. So basically that is, in a nutshell, that is how the project was conceptualized.
Okay. Now, and then when the project began, I know some young persons were trained. There were some young men and some young women. I think the total was about 79. Mm-hmm. What's happening now since then? I know give us a background into what happened with those 79 persons.
Okay. Well, we had 79 persons selected on the project. They went through an interview process. And these 79 persons went through a very vigorous training. Most of them didn't come from an agriculture background. So they got training in all areas of agriculture. So it was more generalized training at the time. Added to that, they got aware of what piqued their interest in agriculture, and they selected the enterprises from that training. Mm-hmm. So these persons are still with the project, despite the fact that it's been a long time since we had the training. They're still on board with the project, and the project is going forward right now with these persons.
But I was also told that they received training and they had project proposals prepared. Could you give us an idea?
These persons got assistance to prepare project proposals that will enable them to get loans, mm-hmm. to access funding for the projects.
Mm-hmm. So which funding agency is on board with you all in that project?
Well, we have seek assistance from the credit unions, mm-hmm. from SLDB. Mm-hmm. There's a youth equity fund program with SLDB that they can access under the project. Mm-hmm. There's also assistance from the different credit unions in St. Lucia. Okay.
When that project, the young people went through all that vigorous training, were there the selection of land and the site selection? Take us through that.
Well, for the project, we have basically two types of land tenureship. Mm-hmm. We have the government lands for those who do not have any access to their own private lands. Mm-hmm. And we also have those with their own family land or their own lands, where they own the land themselves. Mm-hmm. So we have government lands in 4 areas in the country. That's Roseau, Lakaya and Dennery. In the south, we have Balambush, Bosejo, and Riverdori area.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, that project took some time because one of the things I gathered from the young persons is like putting the cart before the horse. I mean, they were trained, right, and they got a bit frustrated because with all the project proposals that they had on hand, nothing was happening. The question of the site selection and trying to procure land for those persons, what problems that Charlemagne, that the project had in getting land for those young persons?
The first challenge was that of negotiating. In fact, when the project was conceptualized, although lands were identified, however, no negotiation was carried out to ensure that the lands became available for the project. And then it took us about 18 months to negotiate with Invest St. Lucia to get the lands in, especially at Riverdori and at Balambush. So that, in effect, more or less put the project way back in the implementation stage.
Okay. So from then now, what has happened since then?
Okay, now that the lands are available, and then we are moving on in the implementation of the various projects, the various enterprises. Actually, the project will be providing the participants with infrastructural support. That is, the materials that are required to, let's say, set up the pig pens, the fowl coops. We will be constructing the aquaculture units for them, the aquaculture ponds for them. Greenhouses will be provided. And then as we are in greenhouses, you will realize that now that we have about 5 greenhouses already established in the Riverdori area and another 6 at Bonsejour. So actually, we are in the process of establishing the infrastructure, and within the shortest possible time that the project will be up and going.
Give us a list of the various programs that the young people are going to be involved with.
Okay.
Yes. The different enterprises that they range in both areas of livestock and crop production. For livestock, we have swine production, we have broilers, we have apiculture, which is the rearing of bees for honey, and we also have poultry. Poultry, yes. As I said, broiler production. Aquaculture, yes. For vegetables, we have greenhouse production and open field production for vegetables. And these are the main areas of production for us for now.
Okay. How many young persons are now involved? Or can you give us an idea of, okay, how many persons based on your target under those various programs?
Well, for between the North and the South, right now we have 69 individuals on board with us right now. Out of the 75 that were trained, we have 69 who still remain with the project. These individuals, as I said, they're going to do different areas of agriculture on the whole. But in the South, we have more concentration of livestock. In the South and in the North, we have more crops, you know. So, and also, we have more technology that we're introducing that they're very enthusiastic about, which is what the ministry wants, to get these young persons in with the technology of the day, so that they could move forward with the latest technology in agriculture to move it to the next phase.
Okay, great. I know you all have gotten equipment. Can you give us an idea of what you all have received thus far to ensure that the program is really getting on the move?
Okay, and as Ms. Eudovique indicated, that we are introducing the technologies that will make agriculture a viable alternative for employment for the young individuals. And then the introduction of technology, new technology or appropriate technology is critical. And then we have tractors that would do the plowing and tilling and ripping and rotavating. We have shredders that will assist in compost making. We have the drain diggers. We have, so also in terms of the greenhouses will be fully automated. In the past, you would realize, you have greenhouses, but you still have this laborious aspect of work within the greenhouses. But what is going to happen now, we're going to have the greenhouses automated. So that will more or less encourage the young people to go into greenhouse production and into vegetable production.
Okay. So training, as you receive those bits of equipment, training is ongoing. with those young people?
Yes.
Correct, yes. There is ongoing training. In fact, when we had the general training in the various enterprises, okay, it was always our idea or our view to continue training, ongoing training for the individuals. And then right now we're in the process of implementing specialized training. For example, those in aquaculture will receive training in aquaculture. And not just that, the aspect of the technical aspect of aquaculture, but also in terms of risk mitigation within the various enterprises. So, and in addition, we'll be introducing a mentorship program, where the individuals, the participants will not be left on their own, but rather will be holding their hands to carry them through. Because you would realize any failure within the project will more or less dampen the aspirations of those young individuals. And then we want to give them as much support as possible so that they could see that those enterprises and agriculture is a viable alternative when it comes to employment creation.
Okay, you mentioned mentorship. I want you to explain this a little more. We're now going for a break, and so I need to get a little more on that so people understand what you mean by mentorship. You are watching Agriculture on the Move. With you for our first break. Stay tuned.
Agriculture, one of the pillars of St. Lucia's economic development, creating opportunities for earning a living for the farmer and his family. From the field to the kitchen, the St. Lucians are finding creative ways of using fruits, crops, and vegetables grown locally, from local seasonings to special brews, from aquaculture to the cultivation of local herbs for export. A strong agriculture industry strengthens the economy. The country needs your support, so buy local.
Welcome back to the program, Agriculture on the Move. My pet project, YEAP, the Youth Agri-Entrepreneurial Project. And of course, with me are two officers, Adline Eudovique and of course, Mr. Terrance Charlemagne. Terrance, we're talking about the mentorship. I think that is critical because we need to. Those persons who have been involved in agriculture over the years and are well entrenched, and they look at agriculture as a business, they need to guide those youngsters, in addition, of course, to your technical person. But tell us a little more about the mentorship.
Okay, in terms of mentorship, the individuals will need guidance when it comes to, for example, financial management. And that is critical, because in the absence of financial management, and you have young people just coming in and getting monies in their hands, they may believe every cent belongs to them. And they can spend that lavishly. However, with financial management mentorship system, they will better understand how to manage finances. Secondly, the aspect of life skills. There are the things maybe that may happen at home that may impact negatively on the ability of the young individuals to implement the enterprises in a more business manner, in a business-like. So you have somebody who would be there to assist them cope with these life skills challenges. Okay, we also, in terms of there might maybe need for putting these individuals or linking them to successful persons on the outside that can provide them with the necessary motivation. Okay, so the mentorship program will actually assist these young individuals to move on in a positive manner with the proper mindset. Because remember, I mean, the program also wants to change the mindset within the agricultural sector for these young individuals, and then with the mentorship program, that can be achieved.
Okay.
And something else, we should also remember that we're trying to build up the cooperative spirit among those individuals. So we are encouraging them to join the existing cooperatives that obtains out there, and also we have already gone very far in the whole planning process so that they could have their own cooperatives among themselves, where they could access different funding for young persons. They could access all the benefits of having a cooperative among themselves, where they could move themselves forward as a team.
So the Department of Cooperative is on board,
definitely
guiding them?
Yes, the department is on board with us.
In addition to that, the two of you the Extension Division, are they assisting, are they on board, working alongside you, assisting the young people?
Remember, this is the ministry's project. So the Extension Department is very on board, from livestock extension to a ministry, which is the general crop extension, they're on board. In every area, the extension officers play a critical role in the success of the project.
Okay, in the planning of the various enterprises, marketing is a key component, key role, right? Take me through that. How is that organized? Because again, we are dealing with a new crop of youngsters, and we need to guide them properly. In other words, we do not want to do the things that we used to do in the past. You get up one morning and you decide to plant an acre of cabbage and you don't know where you're going to sell it. What is happening as far as your marketing is concerned?
Okay, the project is more or less a market-led approach, and it is based on import substitution. And as you know, we have a very high import bill.
Yes.
You're talking about over maybe 348 million.
Yes, it's 358 million in 2013, and now it's about 348 million. It has dropped, by 6 million. I'm happy for that.
Yes,
and I think we need to get it lower, again with the project coming on board.
Okay, correct. And then, so what we do, we look at the figures, or the importation figures, and then the various period, the various months that we have, for example, a shortfall. And then based on that figure, we have a production schedule. The production schedule will allow us to plan the production to meet those shortfalls. So the young people will not be allowed just to plant anything at any point in time where you have a glut on the market and then there will be a problem for marketing. So what we are doing is that actually scheduling our production to meet the shortfalls, and at the same time linking them to the Super Gs and the hotels, talking to the various supermarkets.
And don't give a marketing board, eh?
And the exporters.
And the marketing board. And later on, we are hoping to also adopt a regional approach to our agricultural production, our production, where we're going to, for example, Antigua and these other countries, they might have a shortfall in the availability of vegetables to these areas. Then we can actually model or link our production to the shortfalls in those and in the other islands. So that is the whole marketing model that we are looking for the individuals.
Okay, so where you are now, Adline, based on what Charlemagne has just said, where are you now with what's on ground? Is it really working in the system that Charlemagne just spoke about in terms of the production scheduling? What's on ground right now?
For now, our production system, for it to work as effectively as we expect it to work, we must be in full swing of production. But so far, we've had small groups of persons starting production. In the north, we have at least 5 farmers doing open field production. They have started using the production schedule that we have recommended, and all of them so far have achieved success in marketing their produce. In some areas that we haven't perfected it as yet, but it's a work in progress where we can understand where we are, our shortfalls, and then work towards perfecting the system.
As far as I know, there are also some persons on board with aquaculture.
Yes.
Ponds are being developed. Where is that now?
For the pond, construction has been completed. It's just a matter of us supplying the water for the ponds, and from there, production will begin.
Okay.
In fact, the ponds are completed in the north.
In the north, yes.
And at Bonsejour, we are in the process of completing 2 aquaculture ponds, and we have another 3 sets of aquaculture ponds in the River Dory area. So, whereas in the north, we already achieved that, but we are moving to the south to construct the remainder of the agriculture ponds.
Greenhouses, how many are already established?
Presently, we have established 11 greenhouses.
Yes.
That is 5 in the River Dory area and 6 at Bonsejour.
And are they in production? All in production?
Not as yet. No, we have 2 in production, but not fully automated as yet. It's just a stopgap measure for now, but only 2. And within the next maybe 3 weeks, we should see the other greenhouses in operation, full operation.
Okay. And you said apiculture. How many, is that in operation?
Not as yet, not as yet. For the apiculture, that's because we have to go through a process of tendering to get persons on board for the supply of the different hives and the different tools needed for that, and that is being done as we speak.
Okay.
But site selection has already been done. Yes.
Okay. We're due for another break, but when I come back, I need to speak to you concerning how enthusiastic are the young persons. You're watching Agriculture on the Move. We're due for our second break. Just stay tuned.
St. Lucia is blessed year-round with an abundance of fruits. But do you know that most of them go to waste? Here's an opportunity to invest either from a small to a large-scale agro-processing enterprise. You can contact the Ministry of Agriculture for further information.
Welcome back to the program, Agriculture on the Move. I'm so excited about that project. For me, time it was conceptualized. And I'm sure the young persons too. I mean, yes, they were frustrated because of the time it took. But now things are happening. How are they feeling? Give us a little idea of their enthusiasm.
Well, the energy is very high. And right now, everybody is raving to go, and everybody is seeing at least now the end goal is in sight. Lots of, to even add to this, we have had a lot more persons coming into the ministry to register for phase 2. For phase 2, we're looking at about 75 more individuals to make the complete 150, and we have over 200 persons already registered to be interviewed for selection for phase 2. This is like, the energy is extremely high.
And how soon will that phase 2 start?
We're looking at towards the end of this year to start the selection process for the persons for phase 2.
Do you have the infrastructure? Don't do like last time.
Yes.
You know?
Oh, yes.
I mean, make sure you all have the land and everything is ready so you don't get those persons frustrated.
We'll be using the very said lands we spoke about. We have enough space.
So they have
yes,
enough space?
Definitely. Yes. Okay.
Charlemagne, let's just look at the real results from those projects. Yes, one we know generally is hoping to bring down the food import bill. But let's look at the impact, from the employment, the trickle-down effect. Take me through that.
Okay. If we look at the number of participants in the project can actually employ about 450 persons.
Wow.
Okay, we're talking about the first phase. Okay, we're looking at about $32 million being injected into the economy through the production activities and the economic activities of the various projects. It also entails, if we break it down further, we will realize that it would be at an average of about $61,000 per year per participant. That's the money that will be generated and plowed back into the economy, and that will have an impact on the health, on providing health care for the individuals and the farm family. You're looking at education, you're looking at housing, and a whole set of other, socioeconomic aspects that can be taken care of. So we must not look at the project just in terms of just the production and reducing the food import bill, but the impact it is going to have on impacting positively on the rural economy.
My concern, the question of financing coming from the credit unions and, of course, SLDB. In the past, yes, we hear SLDB is going to assist, they're going to hold their hands, they're going to finance. And then when the project starts, then there is this barrier. Is there a positive step in ensuring that SLDB is on board to really assist those young persons so that they don't get frustrated?
As we mentioned earlier on, there's the Youth Equity Fund. But even without that, even within that, I must indicate that we are experiencing some challenges. And by the time that we are hoping that we can ionize the challenges and be ready to go with relation to the credit unions, what we have come up with a concept paper to present to the credit unions that will allow them to tailor the credit facility to suit the nature of the production activities that the young individuals are taking part of.
This is my quarrel here. I mean, it's 4 years since that project was conceptualized or more, right? SLDB was on board from inception. I mean, why now there are still challenges? I mean, it should be plain sailing now. What's the problem?
Okay, the challenge is, you know, when you operate within the agricultural sector, it's very difficult to get new innovation. For example, if you're talking about, let's say, 150 individuals, it will be very difficult to find 150 new innovations within the agricultural sector. And based on the fact that the equity fund is tailored to implement new innovations, that is our challenge with SLDB. We're trying to make them understand that you cannot get 150 new enterprises or new innovations. You cannot get it. So they have to more or less tailor the equity fund to suit the agricultural sector. And that is the challenge right now. And then I know for a fact that we are talking to them, and then they will understand the nature of agriculture, and then they will come to the assistance of the young individuals.
Yeah, because that is critical.
Yes,
it is. It is very critical. That is the nucleus, to me, of the program. Once there's frustration, then you have problems. It means it upsets the whole chain, you know, the marketing chain and all. So I'm thinking here, you know, get it right, and let us do it right. In terms of continuation, in terms of education, I know you mentioned the extension officers plus yourselves are going to be guiding. But is there something in place, say, for example, an evaluation of the program, sitting with them and to guide them forward, you know, in a very strategic way?
Let me just roll back a bit. And then in addition to just the production on the ground, we have things like putting in place a buffer fund. Okay, a buffer fund to assist. That is a fund that would assist in bringing forward the cash flow that is required. Because when you sell to a market, you will not necessarily get the returns or the income, the revenue right away. So if the buffer fund is there, then the participants will have money available to continue the production.
Okay.
That is one concept. Okay. Also, we have a risk mitigation plan.
Okay.
A risk mitigation plan that is, because again, young participants can get despondent very, very, very fast.
Correct.
So if we have a risk mitigation plan, that will assist them to recover for any eventuality, you know, as fast as possible. Okay. So these are the things that we're putting in place to assist the young individuals.
Final words, 10 seconds.
Well, we're sure that this project is going to be a success because we have put lots of hard work for a long time into it, and we are getting to see some good results right now, and we are very excited about this project.
Final words from you, comrade?
I just want to tell the young participants, hold strong. We are coming. The results will be achieved. We are there for their development.
You know, every day I'm meeting young people who come to me and ask me about, look, they want to get into agriculture, they want to know where they can get access to land. Just last week, this young guy from Bexon met me, and he said to me he wants some advice. I tell him, okay, what do you want? He said he wants to go into ostrich production.
Wow.
From Bexon. I want to say to you, comrade, you know, I didn't get your name, but he's about maybe 20, 21, you know, and he's thinking that way. That's the kind of thinking we have out there.
Yes, yes.
So I want to wish you all well with the project, and I hope you'll get going into your second phase. It will be more dynamic and get people involved in it, you know, at that level very quickly. So I would like to thank you for coming. You have been watching Agriculture on the Move. I would like to thank you, the viewers, for viewing the program, especially the young persons out there. Those of you who are interested can call the ministry or go into your respective regional offices in the out district and register to be part and parcel of this program in its second phase. It's going well, and we need to look at agriculture as a business. Agriculture is our business. And of course, eat fresh and consume what is produced locally in St. Lucia so that the money stays here and we continue to reduce the food import bill. I am Philip Sidney. Good day.
Agriculture on the Move.
Agricole en mouvement.
Agriculture on the Move.
Agricole en mouvement.
Agriculture on the Move.
Agricole en mouvement.
Agriculture on the Move.
Agricole en mouvement.